censor or restrict social media. Why do you think that's happening? Why do so many Nigerian leaders want to censor or restrict social media? Now, I am asking this, of course, ever since the NSAS protests began. We've been seeing story after story where different leaders are blaming social media for different problems and calling for the regulation or censorship even of social media. Here's our big hard fact for today. The Northern Governors Forum has called for the censorship of social media and for government to have the power to cut off access to social media in emergencies. They made that call on Monday after their meeting. Now, they're not the only ones. Maybe they're the ones with the strongest call, since what they want is actual censorship and a kill switch. But you've had others calling for different types of regulation. We had Lai Mohammed, the information minister. We also had various members of the Lagos State House of Assembly calling for regulations. We talked about it, remember, last week, Friday, was it? So today, let's talk about this, huh? Let's talk about why these calls are coming. And I want us to talk about the point being made by the people outside of government that new rules to regulate social media are not necessary. So let's start with the why. The information minister, the Northern Governors, the Lagos State Assembly legislators are all given the same set of reasons for why social media should be restricted. Excuse me. They say that people are using social media to spread misinformation, fake news. They are saying that some of that fake news is meant to destabilize the country. They are saying that some of that fake news is meant to incite violence. They are saying that some of the fake news is hate speech that incites ethnic or religious hostility. So those are the reasons why the people who have called for censorship or regulation of social media or a clamp down on social media have called for this clamp down on social media. Now, let's get something out of the way. Let's agree that inciting violence is illegal. Trying to get people to overthrow the government or commit any crime is also illegal. So government officials wanting to stop those things are not wrong for wanting to do those things. The issue now is their approach correct? Is their approach even necessary? Are there already ways for government to fight dangerous speech on social media without restricting social media? Because remember, there are a lot of good things happening online. We're going to talk about that in more detail later on. But first of all, let's talk about what government already can do to fight fake news without restricting social media. Because remember, I was asking, are there already ways for government to fight dangerous speech on social media without restricting social media? The short answer is yes. The long answer is the Cybercrime Act of 2015. That is the main law that empowers government to fight crime online. Does the Cybercrime Act help government fight fake news? Let me read you what it says. First of all, we've got section 24, subsection 1. It says, quote, any person who knowingly or intentionally sends a message or other matter by means of computer systems or network that A, is grossly offensive, pornographic, or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character, or causes any such message or matter to be sent, or B, he knows to be false, for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, danger, obstruction, insult, injury, criminal, intimidation, enmity, hatred, ill will, or needless anxiety to another, or causes such a message to be sent, commits an offense under this act, and shall be liable on conviction to a fine of not more than 7 million naira, or imprisonment for a term of not more than 3 years, or to both such fine and imprisonment. End quote. So, short answer, yes, government can already stop fake news. Long answer, right now, under the law, if you tell a lie on social media, and that lie was meant to cause damage or cause violence or intimidation or even just anxiety safe, government can arrest you, try you, and if you are guilty, you can get 3 years in jail, you can get a 7 million naira fine, or you can get both. Shebi na fake news be that, no be so. So government already has the power to go after people posting fake news online. Government can do that without restricting or censoring social media. So the question is, if government is so worried about fake news online, why isn't the government using the power that it already has? This is already an act in Nigeria. Why isn't the government using the power it already has under the Cybercrime Act to fight it? Why is it asking for more powers before using the old ones? And the Cybercrime Act doesn't stop there. Let me read you section 26, Section 26, subsection 1. Quote, any person who with intent distributes or otherwise makes available any racist or xenophobic material to the public through a computer system or network, threats through a computer system or network, persons for the reason that they belong to a group distinguished by race, color, descent, national or ethnic origin, as well as religion, if used as a pretext for any of these factors, or a group of persons which is distinguished by any of these characteristics, insults publicly through a computer system or network, persons for the reason that they belong to a group distinguished by race, color, descent, or national or ethnic origin, as well as religion, if used as a pretext for any of these factors. A group of persons which is distinguished by any of these characteristics, or distributes or otherwise makes available through a computer system or network to the public material which denies or approves or justifies acts constituting genocide or crimes against humanity, commits an offense and shall be liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of not more than 5 years, to a term of not more than 5 years, or to a fine of not more than 10 million naira, or both such a fine and imprisonment. End quote. Now, legal language can be one kind. But what that section of the Constitution says, of the Cyber Act says, the Cybercrime Act says, is that if you spread hate for a religion or a tribe online, government can try you. And you can go to jail for 5 years. You can pay 5 million naira, or 10 million naira, or you can do both. So again, if government already has the power to prosecute hate speech and fake news on social media, is there a need for more restriction or censorship of social media? We're going to talk about how to enforce Cybercrime Act in a bit. But first of all, let me hear from you. These two sections that I've given you from the Cybercrime Act of 2015 cover online hate speech and fake news. Do you believe that government needs any more powers over social media? Do you believe that if government uses its current powers seriously, it should be enough? And I'm still asking, why do you think so many political leaders are calling for more control over social media, including censorship, even though government already has tools for regulating hate speech and disinformation? I did not make up these words. I read to you verbatim what is contained in the Cybercrime Act of 2015. 0700-993-993-993. 0700-993-993-993. You can also give us your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. We've got a message on WhatsApp from or Z, and Z says the major reason our leaders always want the media in general and social media in particular is because their hands are not clean and their ways are fraught with deception. In short, they are never sure of themselves when it comes to giving good governance to the people. Let's talk to Paul in Okota. Hello, Paul. Thanks for calling us.
You're doing a nice job.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to understand. The issue, we know there is some serious motive inside the form.
Do we know that?
Going by the conversation that has been going on, even the non-head, when they came out, their communique was related to everything. The thing is that they just want to shut everybody off. That is the basic thing they are looking for. Look for a way to shut everybody off. There is a libel law that has been there. You can track the person down. Then you say for libel participation of all this. One thing about Nigeria, the Ministry of Information and the like, they are just too lazy. They don't want to work. I've never seen a country like this. That's you find the take them to move around. The litigation, trade the post. It's like they don't want to work. I think people are in this country that are IT that are looking for jobs. You understand? That is what I see. Number one, they are just too lazy, just looking for one way or the other to push their grievance to here's the youth. Everything is at the and so they don't really have the way they can do it. We not allow them.
All right.
We not allow them. They need to, the way you are talking about now, they need to go there and make it possible.
Thanks for calling us. Now that you've heard the powers of the Cybercrime Act and the powers it gives the government to combat online hate speech and fake news, do you believe government needs any more powers over social media? Ruben in Yaba, hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, any attempt by the federal government or the politicians to stretch the already existing laws against abuse of social media, that is, if you're abusing it and it is well proven, I think might actually lead Nigeria into a despotic state where our rulers, properly so-called, they become despots, they become lords upon the citizens. And we're a situation where the social media, where a tool of free speech, which is social media, will now be guarded. So our voice taken away from us. And I would love your people that are coming in, your invitees, or what am I going to call them? They should tell us if the government can actually stretch it, and at the same time it won't infringe so much at all on our right, because social media is a very, very important tool for free speech, and this government needs to be educated about it. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you for calling. Walter was able to call back in again. Walter, I'm glad you made it in.
Thank you very much. It's a very big opportunity today for me. Anyway, let me just go straight to the point. You see, in Nigeria, we have the Libel Act. And the only reason they want the social media hack, technically, is because they want to shift the proof to the person who accused them for anything. For example, my Facebook just reminded me today that exactly 2 years ago, I did say something about the federal government taking $1.2 billion from the Nigerian liquefied natural gas. The existing laws will not force me to prove that because such documents are in possession of government. So they will now put a law that will now force me to bring those documents which I'm not in possession of. So what they want is such a quiet. When we talk about it, I have to be silent because I don't have any proof. So government will continue to take as much as they want and do whatsoever they want. And because if you say something, the law will say you should be able to do that.
No, but if government if you actually do something and government wants you to prove it, you can actually ask them to give you that information by calling upon the Freedom of Information.
Very, very good. But the social media is, how do I put it, is being controlled. The law will enable you to be able to have such proof before you make such a statement. So you won't need to go to the government to say anything. You have to make sure you have the document in your possession before you do that. However, even the Freedom of Information law as we know it, if you will have written to different government departments, they never replied. They never replied. See, my sister, if we allow this to happen, then Nigeria is back to 1900. This is the only opportunity we have to talk to government. And whether they like it or not, they will listen. Let me tell you something. The NSAS protest that we had, take it or leave it. I've seen certain changes in characters of our government officials. And they now know that the social media is what enabled the people to make such a movement. So they will do everything to end it. Because if they don't end it, we will end their tenure. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All right, Walter. Thank you so much for calling us. We'll take a final call from Ifeanyi in Ibejuleki. Ifeanyi, are you still there? Ifeanyi isn't there anymore. Now, let's talk about enforcement. Very quickly, let's talk about enforcement, right? If you just joined the show, hello to you. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. You missed the part where I read for you Nigeria's Cybercrime Act of 2015. That's the main law that empowers government to fight crime online. Now, I started by asking if the Cybercrime Act helps government fight fake news. The short answer is yes. The long answer is if you tell a lie on social media and that lie was meant to cause damage or cause violence or intimidation or even anxiety, government can arrest you and government can try you. And if you are found guilty, you can get 3 years in prison and you can pay a 7 million naira fine. Now, fake news be that now. No be am. So, government already has the power to go after people posting fake news online. And government can do that without restricting or censoring social media. So, if government is so worried about fake news online, why isn't government using the power that government already has under the Cybercrime Act to fight fake news? Also, if government is worried about hate speech, under the Cybercrime Act, if you spread hate for a religion or a group or a tribe online, government can try you and you can go to jail for 5 years and you can pay 10 million naira. So if government already has the power to prosecute hate speech and fake news online, is there a need for more restriction or for censorship of social media? That's the first question on the show today. Now let's talk about enforcement. Like I said, whenever this comes up, people in government and in leadership that want to restrict social media, whenever it comes up, they say that it's hard to catch people breaking the law online. You need to pay attention to what I'm saying. Seriously, this is important because when you're having these conversations with your friends in the bar, our bar's open. I don't know if bars are open yet. But, you know, when you're having this conversation in your WhatsApp groups, etc., you need to be able to have this conversation, these conversations with strong points. So when government is talking about restricting social media, government often says, oh, it's hard to catch people who are breaking the law online because social media allows anonymity. So if someone opens an account on Twitter, they can call themselves anything they like. And from behind that fake name, they can spread fake news to trigger violence, and they can preach hate against an ethnic group. So the officials, the leaders, the Nigerians who are pro-censorship are saying there's nothing government can do in that situation. And that's why government should have the power to cut off social media or cut off the internet. Now, I spoke to a few legal experts and they disagree. They come back to the Cybercrime Act. Did you know that the Cybercrime Act gives government tools to trace people online if they have committed a crime? In Section 45 and Section 46 of the Act, government has those powers. I'm not going to read those because of time. But here's what they say. Section 45 says, if government believes a crime has been committed online, like inciting speech or dangerous information, government should go to court to report it. And then the court can give government a warrant. And with that warrant, government can meet any internet service provider or online platform or even any individual. And that person must give government full access to any database they have that can help government collect evidence or help government track down the identity of the suspect. So again, if government's plan is to stop fake news and their problem is online makes you anonymous, the Cybercrime Act already gives government the power through court order to get the identity of suspects online. And if the ISP or the platform disobeys the order, they can be fined and jailed. So again, if government has this power, why does it need more power? Why does it need more restriction of social media? Now, the critics say that government is not asking for these new powers because of fake news or hate speech, because if that's what they were worried about, they would simply use the Cybercrime Act. So there's a worry from those of you who have called, especially, that there's another reason for wanting to restrict social media. Some say maybe it's because they're worried that non-politicians are able to use social media to organize peaceful political action and challenge the established political elite. Some say it may also be because so often social media is used to uncover things that powerful people want to keep quiet. What do you think? Now that you know the powers that the Cybercrime Act gives government, do you think more social media restriction is necessary? 0700 993 993 0700 993 993 993. We can talk on WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Chris from Amoa says, Sandra, thank you for your insight on the cyber law in Nigeria. Honestly, Nigeria needs to build more correctional facilities, mental homes, hospitals, etc. At least 5,000 bed prisons in each state. We really need to start holding people accountable for their deeds. Bosun from Lagos says, I see the issue. I see no issue on this control of social media by government. Is that the major priority needed by Nigerian citizens? Our law is there. What they need is to let the system work properly without any compromise. As you said, the Cybercrime Act. What kind of government is this, please? Let's talk to Henry Nekbe. Hello, Henry.
Yeah.
Henry, welcome to the show. You're talking to Sandra now.
Good afternoon.
Good
Sandra.
afternoon. Now that you know the powers that the Cybercrime Act gives government, do you think more social media restriction is necessary?
No, Sandra.
Why?
You know what? I can see Nigerian government as a government that doesn't know what they have. Okay? Because all these tools are with them, but they cannot see it. Is it not wise they go and diagnose? You know, if you cannot see well when reading because of old age, is it not you look for glasses? Sandra?
Yes, of course. You look for glasses.
Okay. you look for glasses so that you can see well.
That's right.
And this is the reason why people from 60 to 65 should leave all these major offices.
We'll come back to that. We need to take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Or when you walk out, enter any Bet King shop. Yes, pay out to cut. Oh, that's one a sharp something. Whether na weekday, whether na weekend, even for public holiday, they're full ground. No do yourself. Visit betking.com. Make yourself start to the win today. Bet King, the playground for kings.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities and how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
A place where you can win without limits. A place where you get a 100% bonus to stake. A place where virtual is brought to reality. Even more. A place where you can bet online anytime, even while you're out of data. Register on actionbet.ng. ActionBet. Think bold. Take action. Win big.
Mama Mina won't send money, make Amina collect for school. Oh, Bina won't withdraw from your account, but you no carry in card. Hey, written then go use. Na Momo, then go use. Na Momo agents, then go use you. Sissy Ronke won't pay light bill. Plus Richard Go TV. Nishi for no go Miss Telemundo. Tamuno says she won't buy data for phone. Waiting them go use. Na Momo, then go use. Na Momo agents, then go use you.
Now, with your Momo agent, you fit send and receive money, plus to withdraw money for your bank account without card or data. You fit also buy airtime and data or pay any kind bill where you want. Just dial *223# to see the Momo agent when near you.
Momo agent. Save fast. No wahala.
Every day, someone stands a chance to be a winner.
Really?
Yes. 50,000 naira every week on Just a Minute Game Show. Just call into any of our shows. The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Facts. Answer as many questions as possible within 60 seconds, and we'll be giving out 50,000 naira every week. Yes! 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 Winners will be announced on Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Mama Mina won't send money, make Amina collect for school. Oh, Bina won't withdraw from your account, but you no carry in card. Hey, waiting then go use.
World's best football, only on DSTV.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili asking why so many Nigerian leaders want to censor or restrict social media. I also went to the trouble of reading to you the Cybercrime Act of 2015 that allows the government to prosecute anybody who shares fake news. Also allows the government to prosecute anybody who shares hate speech, and they define what hate speech is under the Cybercrime Act. Now that you have heard the powers that the Cybercrime Act gives government to combat online hate speech and fake news, do you believe that government needs any more powers over social media? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. I wonder if Kingsley Surulere is still on the line. Hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for staying on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Surulere.
Kingsley, go ahead.
Yeah, Sandra, see, if you are not a thief, if they say something is always missing in your estate, they want to bring in security man, you won't be afraid. In fact, you will tell them to bring more security men.
Okay.
So the NSAS protest make the government to be jittery.
Okay.
If you remember, they're saying if you go, they want to close online, they want to regulate on. If you remember, Sandra, if you remember the army man that was beating somebody in Ibadan. They did the army, when people started complaining, the public started complaining. The army just went online and see the face of the army man and bring them to book. True of us.
True.
If you remember last year, there was a popular Yoruba musician. I don't know the business he did with some guys, and the guy posted her nude pictures online. The police tracked that guy and tracked him down. Did they look for proof? So our government, they think this NSAS protest, it really opened the eyes of so many Nigerians, and the government became jittery. The libel suit before even the Cybercrime Act. When we are growing up, we know of what we call defamation of character. Sandra, if I go public and advertise things that you did not do, you will take me. They will use libel, defamation of character, and sue me.
That's right.
So if government really want to, what they will do is, if you go online and somebody post wrong publication and you trace that person with the Cybercrime Act and sue the person, by the time you sue 3-4 persons and the suit will be televised publicly, you know what will be watching it, and with your evidence of what the person has posted, nobody will be posting fake news again. So the issue of, like the other day, sorry to digress, like Mohammed said, they went to China. They couldn't open Facebook. Did they also look at the rules of the China and the infrastructure and say they want to implement that one? So they always look for something to divert our attention. This social media is that they should not set this country on fire.
Nobody's setting the country on fire, Kingsley. Thank you for calling us. Abraham Manweng on Facebook says, this clampdown on the masses is horrific. It's no doubt a polite autocracy hidden under democracy. Where on earth should a citizen be denied full right of expression under democratic dispensation like the one we have in Nigeria? Please, is it only fake news and social media regulation that they can take swift actions on? What of those groups killing hundreds in the north and other parts of the country that they have failed and have tagged terrorists? What of those who have been squandering government funds and still remain free? Let's talk to Moses in Ibejuleki. Hello, Moses.
Hello.
Good evening, Moses. Moses, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're live on the show. Go ahead.
Okay. Ezekwesili.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
How are you today?
Very well. Go ahead. Do you think that government needs more regulation of social media, given that they have the Cybercrime Act?
Okay. You've said it all. They have the Cybercrime Act. I think what government has to do is to, put structures in place, get young youth employed, and they could, really regulate the social media activities from their office. You track fake news, give publicity, educate the populace on, what fake news could do, and all that. They could address it. There are laws already. Hello?
I can hear you. They can address it. There are laws already.
Already. So let them work on those laws.
Okay.
In regulating fake news.
Okay.
And all that. But not clamping down on users of social media and all that. No, they don't need to stop.
All right,
social media
Moses.
has a lot of benefits, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. We've got Austin in Ogun State. Hello, Austin.
Austin, Sandra, good evening.
Good evening, Austin. Welcome.
My name is Austin.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, this issue of restriction of social media, I don't think is the in thing for now.
Okay.
If you look at those people that are canvassing for this issue, these are analog people. We are in a computer age.
Okay.
They should not draw us back. Rather, they should take us forward. The world is moving very fast.
Okay.
We don't need to be thinking of taking us going to restrict social media.
Okay.
Which other platform can we air our issues about this governance in this country? Particularly, this government is finding a way to stop the masses from saying their minds. Look at the issue of palliative that were all stocked in various warehouses in various states.
Okay.
Often I expect this good government, if it's a good government, to come up and set a panel to investigate these governors. Are they above the law?
Well, the
They're not
governors,
above
the
law.
governors came out with their own reason for why those things were in warehouses. Remember now, they said that they were keeping it because they were expecting a second wave of COVID-19.
Sandra, are we anticipating evil? Are we anticipating another COVID? These things were brought during this first phase of the full COVID. They should be treated as such. Why are we stocking them for another anticipation of COVID? We should think good for this country, for God's sake. They should think about something good for the people, not for themselves again. Everything concerning this government or members of this whoever, it's only swept under the carpet. It's silent. But when you hear masses complaining, they want to shut the masses' mouth totally. Why?
Why? Austin asks. Austin, thanks for calling. Henry, hello.
Sandra.
Thank you for calling back.
Thank you. Sandra, very hard to get you people. Anyways, I'm lucky today.
Yes, you are.
Okay. To complete what I was saying, Sandra, when the Lekki shooting happened, Army Chief told us that Army people wasn't there. Am I correct?
Right.
A day or 2 days after, because of social media, he came out and said Lagos State government invited them.
Right.
Now, if we are to balance these two different speeches from one person, you will agree with me that the first one was fake news. Sandra, you are laughing, right? The first one now happened to be fake news. So, under the lie Mohammed, whatever about fake news, we're supposed to sue the army chief. Now, last time before 2015 election, Buhari told us that Babu and the blood and it will suck. I don't want to go much detail.
It wasn't Buhari that said that. That's actually fake news. It wasn't Buhari that said it. It was somebody else.
Somebody else?
Yes, it wasn't Buhari that said it. It was said, but it wasn't Buhari that said it.
If you said, okay. Recently, police IG told the policemen that they can use their arm to defend themselves against we the youth, we the armless people. What can we call that one?
Well, if you are attacking police.
How many people have you heard that on the road or the street attacking police people?
Remember, during the riots, a lot of people attacked police.
There was no riot. What we had here happened to be protests.
No, the protests were peaceful. And then you now had people who went to go and burn down police stations, went to beat up policemen, burned some policemen alive as well. And that was wrong. And if somebody is coming to kill you, shouldn't you defend yourself?
The protesters was the first to attack by whatever thing they call them because they made them to be monsters. And those people that are calling hoodlums and the whatever today are the monsters they made. Okay? Those are the monsters because if by today our primary school, secondary school are based on free education, we will have these people on the street named whatever thing they are calling them today. I will not join suit to call these people hoodlums because they are the monsters that the government made.
Okay, but let's come back to the point. Let's come back to the point of this particular situation now.
Okay, right now, that IG speech, he has to withdraw it back. If not, stand that something will happen. No.
Nothing will happen, Henry. Thank you for calling me. I mean, I'm very against violence. I'm very against attacking anybody, whether you are a security agent, whether you are a civilian. Nobody should be attacking anybody. Everybody should exercise severe restraint. I think the IG made that comment in light of the fact that policemen are now targets. Now, of course, the reason we're here is because Nigerians were experiencing police brutality in the hands of some police officers. I hesitate to say policemen because even women were also accused of police brutality. So police officers were accused of police brutality, and that's what led to the protests. And when the protests got attacked by thugs and the protesters went indoors and Lagos started to burn, police officers were also targeted. They were hurt, they were injured, they were beat up, and stations were burned. Police officers died. These are people's parents. These are people's family members, right? And as a human being, if you dare your side, person carry a weapon, come attack you, you're going to defend yourself. And I think that's what the IG of police was trying to do there. Let's talk to Oluwaseun. Hopefully he's still on the line. Shodi. Hello, Oluwaseun.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sandra,
Hmm.
you know what I want to say this afternoon is that they want to amend the cyber crime again, or they want to amend internet so that they can sue them. During the last one I just mentioned the palliative that they saw the last time. It's very out of rep, the lady from Amowo Odofe, when she was tackling on the youth in the house, she forgot that on her birthday there was Indomie palliative that was meant for COVID-19 in the picture that she used to be used for surveillance. That the picture carries and it was online. Is that also fake news? Are they trying to justify trying to amend the internet usage doing that means so that we won't be seeing such of a thing on online to prove their wrongs on air? Is that what they're trying to say? Because I don't really understand if they're saying they want to restrict the internet when they are doing some things that is not even meant to do, and the only way they can be exposed is through that internet. That's one. The second part of it is that there was yesterday or a day like that.
Okay.
Called and it was criticizing your station for not trying to allow the people that are supporting government to talk that much. Why will some people be there trying to inconvenience us as citizens of Nigeria because we are just voiceless? But they at the top, they can't even expose them on the internet. What are we talking about? Because I can't go to the police station to go and complain about any chairman, not even out of breath. They won't listen to me, or they won't even take my probe. They'll tell me to go and get a lawyer. And they know I can't go past it because I know I can't beat the government. The internet is the only place I can easily type what I have in my mind and express everything very, very quickly. And if I'm wrong with things, then come and take me up because my details and everything can be traced. So what are we not talking about? You keep on doing what the Lord doing. When the Lord wants to deliver us, He will deliver us. There are days that when their days cannot continue, then that day will come up.
Oluwaseun, thanks for calling us. A final call from Tim in Isolo. Hello, Tim. Tim, are you there? I think Tim ended that phone call. Tim, sorry about that. If you can, please call back. We've got a message on WhatsApp. Good evening. It's only in this era of government in Nigeria's history that they're running haywire about the views and opinion of its people. The idea of censoring social media is synonymous to the fear of truthful public opinion. What a multiplicity of laws should they go ahead with? Yet another regulation of social media. The act has been there, so why another regulation? I doubt if the government even remembers they already have an act in place. Most of them don't read. They don't even have the time to review laws. This is the same reason they have the ICPC and EFCC doing the same criminal prosecution work. Well, ICPC and EFCC are doing different work, actually. They're not doing the same work. EFCC is financial crimes. ICPC is different from that. We've got somebody who says, Sandra, please, is the social media bill designed to shut down the internet and restrict social media? Yes, it is designed to shut down the internet and restrict social media. I know we have cybercrime law, which is not in effect. So how sure are we that they will even affect social media bill if passed? I encourage people to read the bill and resist it with knowledge if they finally need to resist than to resist without knowledge. Gabriel from Surulere says, Gabriel, yes, I have read the social media bill, and you can actually listen to me fully dissect the social media bill on my podcast, where I'm very, very honest, very, very uncensored on that podcast. Search for How Nigeria Works But Doesn't. That's my personal podcast, and you can listen to where my guest and I went step by step to tell you what exactly is in the social media bill. So do a Google search right now, How Nigeria Works But Doesn't, and look for that particular episode about social media and listen to it. And then you can tell for yourself if the social media bill is designed to be shut down or not. Sandra, if I dare my side, okay, no, we're not talking about that, so I'm not going to take that comment. Kennedy from Ijegun says, the state governor giving us warning not to protest. Well, that's not what I'm talking about right now. Sandra, I refuse to go backwards in this country, in this age. Some old men want to drag me down. Never. Sandra, someone should tell them to hold their peace. So Nati from Ojo says. Nati, thank you for your message. Good evening, Sandra. The truth is this present government just wants to shut everybody's mouth up by all means. They have the Cybercrime Act already, but they've refused to involve knowledgeable people in government around the country. These people seem to have run out of ideas. Let me go to Facebook, where we've got more comments dropping at the moment. Facebook, of course, is Nigeria Info 99.3. Nigeria Info 99.3. We're streaming live. You can actually also watch the live stream on YouTube. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM as well, right? And then share your thoughts with us via Twitter at Nigeria Info FM, Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. We've got this comment here from Olarotimi Lawrence, who says, these leaders should know more about the power of social media and stop trying to censor us. Oluchukwu Darlington says, Sandra, stop defending the government. If you are too scared to stand for the truth, stop your broadcast. Okay. What are you on about? Sylvanus Edet says, President Sandra, what do you expect of a government who doesn't know how to put its citizens first? In a time like this, when we are being faced by economic hardship, our own government is busy talking about how to block social media. Abel Udoabasi Judah says, when they rode to power on social media, now they want to regulate it. This is pure hypocrisy. Umasabo Amekagbo Peter says, they just want to silence us. I must tell you that these rulers and dictators are afraid of the youth uniting. We've got Alfred, who says, Sandra, this is tiring. We need this country to be fixed. Food is expensive. There's no good road. There's no light. They should leave social media alone. We've got Abdulmalab Idris, who says, why are some people so afraid of social media regulation? I'm sure it's only those who are spreading fake news, misinformation, disinformation that are afraid of such regulation. Well, Abdulmalab Idris, we already have laws that regulate fake news, the spread of fake news or hate speech. The question I've been asking since I started the conversation today is, do we need more laws to do the same thing? And of course, if you listen completely to, or if you read, again, listen completely by going to search for my podcast, How Nigeria Works But Doesn't, or pick up a copy of the social media bill and read it for yourself. You see that who determines what is fake news and who determines what is true and what is embarrassing for the government is the government. Do you want that power in the hands of the government? Go and read the bill for yourself. Now, whenever we talk about policy here on Hard Facts, I always ask you to follow the rules of policy formulation. First of all, you have to ask, how well does this proposed policy solve the problem? How well does it solve the problem? Second, you have to ask, what new problems does this policy create? Because remember, no policy is perfect. It has its minuses and its pluses. And then you also have to ask, do the new problems the policy brings outweigh the problems it solves? When social media censorship comes up, a lot of people say the new problems are worse than the old ones. So, for example, people keep using the NSAS protests. Remember, the police shot and beat up protesters in Surulere. That was before the Lekki shooting. But at first, the police were denying it until the videos appeared on social media. After that, Governor Sanwo-Olu acknowledged the attacks and said it will be investigated. So you see, social media helps keep government accountable. If not for those videos, maybe nobody could have seen that or been able to prove that some police officers attacked peaceful protesters. So supporters of social media say that there is a big danger with censorship. They say censorship can be abused. Government can use it to reduce accountability. And for the people who support zero censorship of social media, that danger outweighs the fight against fake news, especially because government already has the tool to fight fake news without censoring social media. So you have to ask yourself, from a policy perspective, is censoring social media worth the dangers to accountability and transparency? You can have that conversation with people you care about, because my time on the show is done. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about America's elections. It's still ongoing. They're still counting. They still don't have a president, an elected president yet. Well, they have a president, but the new president has not been elected or re-elected. If it's the old one, that will be re-elected. So tomorrow, 3 p.m., let's take a look at what's happening there. Let's talk about why exactly what's happening is happening. I'll have Baba back on the show tomorrow. He's 12 years old and he knows a lot about America's politics. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili on social media. Listen to our show on our podcast, Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. S. Ezekwesili on Twitter, S. Ezekwesili on Instagram. And until I see you tomorrow, those are your Hard Facts, Lagos. Good night.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.